What up? This is Rama Screen at the LA Film Festival 2017 with the director of Don't Come Back from the Moon.
I'm good.
How's it going? Good?
I'm great.
Yeah.
Excited. Today's our premiere.
Yeah.
The film is premiering later tonight, so I'm excited and nervous.
Yeah.
You know?
And I've screened the film, loved it. Yeah.
Oh, you watched it. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Thanks for watching it.
Now, I have a few questions about it. I have a few questions. So, how do you come up with this heavy drama?
Oh, it's based on a book by Dean Bakopoulos called Please Don't Come Back from the Moon. When I read the book, I connected right away with the characters and the theme of like fatherhood. And when I was reading the book, I thought a lot about my own father because I realized like I was the same age as he was when he had his first child, which was me, and then it made me wonder like if I was ready to be a father too. Could I become a dad? Could I be responsible and take care of someone else? So I was thinking about all those things, and as well as like the concept of like not having a father and like teenagers and women trying to fill that void that not having if the father role is absent. So like you know, all those concepts like grabbed me right away when I read the book. So I really wanted to explore that, you know, and like get deep with it.
Let me ask you about the technicalities of the filmmaking, because when I screened the film, there's a lot of imagery, right, of cosmic imagery, and also you play with the contrast between light and dark. Can you talk about why the decision behind that creative choices?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. Well, first off, it all started from the location we were at. You know, we filmed the film in Bombay Beach in the Salton Sea out in the California desert. When we got there, I think we arrived right at sunset, and there was like this beautiful like blue-pink sky when we arrived, and like I was there with my cinematographer, and we were like, wow, in awe of it, you know. So we knew when we made the movie, we wanted that look to be like the starting point. And from that look, of course, like I love, I also wanted to capture like the inner imagination and the world of the landscape inside the characters, you know, like Lisa kind of, you know, vaguely, humbly say that, like show how they feel, you know. So I, I worked with this amazing animator in New York who helped create like some of those like black and white images, you know, like we were looking at like NASA footage, and we were trying to figure out a way to like do that in our own like 1980s handmade kind of style, and you know, it was awesome. Like I actually haven't met Neo, the animator. Like we've only been emailing. Like I found her work online, but I'm a big fan of her work.
Yeah, because I remember the last time a NASA footage was used beautifully or equally, you know, just as great was in the Terrence Malick's Tree of Life. But you applied it just as fine, I think. Yeah.
He's a master. I feel like he's a big inspiration for a lot of people in my generation of filmmakers because the way he tells stories so freely is really inspiring, I think. Yeah.
And also talk a bit about when I screened the film, it also felt like a poetic journey, you know, especially through the narration and stuff like that. Was that always intentional?
Oh yeah, I feel like it has been it's been intentional because like
Was the book like that?
the book yeah, exactly, yeah, the book is less story driven and more mood driven, more character driven, and at least that's what I love about the book. And so when we adapted it, I wanted to stay true to that feeling, but also like express that visually, you know, with actors and stuff. And so like I lean, you know, of course, when we shot the film, we had a longer script, but in editing, so while shooting, we did this technique where we filmed the scene with dialogue, and then we'll film the scene again without dialogue, just like with behavior, and let the actors like behave and be themselves and all that. And because I always love it when the moment when things are unsaid, but you feel it, you know, like kind of like the you know, those quiet moments I think are nice, and I try to build around that, you know, 'cause at least for me, like if I can get to that point where like you can understand what someone's feeling without saying it, I'll be happy. Yeah.
All right. My next question is regarding to working with the actors. These are young age people, you know. So talk a bit about that the process and how you help them unleash their performances. Because again, this is a heavy drama that deals with sense of abandonment.
Mm. It was I'm very lucky because the actors trusted me early on in the process. Like we did a lot of heart to hearts in the beginning. Like I didn't really do auditions. Instead of auditions, we just meet and talk and like talk about like their like our lives, like our first love. Yeah, yeah, first love, fatherhood, things like that. Especially because like half the teenagers, this is their first film. A lot of them are non-actors, so it's more it's like that way we get to know each other as friends versus director actor, because we want to go on this journey together. We want to like build trust, and I want them to feel comfortable being themselves on camera, or like at least revealing that part of themselves. So it all starts from the heart to heart, and that actually informed some of the scenes. Like I would actually, after talking to them, I would go back and change some things, to build around it more, based on how I was inspired by them. Yeah.
Now, did you, style wise, tone wise, did you draw inspiration from other movies that also dealt with teenagers as well? Like I'm thinking about maybe movies like Kids,
Okay.
or yeah, or something like it. Did you draw inspiration from movies such as that? No.
Yeah, of course. Harmony Korine is like I love Harmony Korine and Kids, and that's a great film. I can't remember the director's name, but there's a foreign film called Mustang
Mm.
that I saw like 2 years ago that like left a huge impression on me. It just captured like the feeling of being a teenager and being stuck so perfectly. I love that movie,
Mhm.
and of course, I'm inspired a lot by Asian cinema, like Edward Yang, and he did this film called Brighter Summer Day about teenagers in Taiwan. That also was a I watched that movie too while prepping for this, and it was inspiring. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned you're Vietnamese. Did you come from there,
Oh
or?
yeah, I'm ethnically I'm half Vietnamese, half Chinese from Vietnam, but
Okay.
my parents left the country um, right before the right before the fall of Saigon. So
Mhm.
I never actually lived in Vietnam. I grew up in Hong Kong and in the United States. So I love Vietnam. It's like my motherland, but it's also like I feel disconnected too. Like it's weird. Like when I go to Vietnam, I feel like a stranger because I'm a tourist. Um, but I hope in the next like decade of my life, I get to like go back more often and like make meaningful connections with the country. Like,
The reason I ask is because I'm Asian too. It's like, is it tough out there in this industry
oh yeah,
for Asian filmmakers?
it is. It is. It is the challenge is like I feel like is there is so little representation of Asian American stories and Asian stories in Hollywood, and I dream of a film industry that's like inclusive and like representational and like and that where our voices are heard. I feel like a lot of us are invisible in Hollywood, but I think things are changing, and I think I'm inspired a lot by like the Asian American independent film community. There are a lot of directors that I love, like Andrew An or Cary Fukunaga. Like they're doing like amazing,
Yes.
amazing, inspiring work, and I think, and like, and we all come from the same place where we're all independent filmmakers that are giving and supportive of each other. I feel like, or at least I want to be that way with like other filmmakers too. So hopefully, like by supporting and being generous to each other, we can build something strong, like and grow together. Yeah.
Now, well, as I'm winding down to my final questions, what is your next project, and will it be in this world of drama and self reflection, or will you be tackling a genre, or what's next for you?
Oh, I think the immediate future. I also work as a cinematographer, so like I'm shooting some things over the summer, and I've started writing a project. Uh, One of my mentors at NYU was was Spike Lee, the professor, and he advised us. One of the best advice I ever got. He gave it to the whole class was that you have to always develop more than one project. You have like 4 or 5 projects going at the same time. Work really hard, and you never know which one would be the one you do next. So be ready. So I try to do that too. I'm writing a project actually in Southeast Asia, and also one out here in California too, but maybe focused around like Asian Americans in prison and that whole concept.
I hope you do. I think we are underrepresented, so I hope you get to tackle us in your next story. Okay. Thank you so much.